Hello everyone. My name is AP the Weird One, and we are back with episode 7 of I Married the Girl That I Hate the Most in My Class. Sorry about the delay. I thought my computer or something was on my end was being funky. Turns out it was the website. So, sorry about the delay. This episode deals with chapters 22 and 23 and even a little bit expanded scene. Like, we didn't even get a proper episode, and we didn't get the ending or intro. So we got a little bit expanded, and the premises around the ring that Akane saw in episode 6, and basically how Saito goes about giving it to her, and then her wearing it. And to start off with this episode, I make the recap a little bit short. Akane is mad at Saito because he's not paying attention to her while eating breakfast. So he's like, "Hey, it's good. Like, she just wants more compliments. She's being her normal bitchy self." Anyway. At school, he goes to Sishay, and she's like, I want to go over to your house today. It's like, I got my reasons. It's not that I'm bored of the house or anything, but I just want to come over and hang out with you. He wants to be a good cousin. And so they agree. She calls for express service. The maid Rui comes and brings a limo, and they drive super quick. My Uncle Paul has a couple of friends who can do that. One of them is a professional driver. The other one is not. The one is not as crazy maniac. But regardless of the fact that she drives fast because it says it's safer. Anyway, when they get to the house, a notable difference from that in the manga is that when Shisei changes clothes, we get some sexy bit. We get to see her down to her bra. We get a little bit of spicy scene. Even her coming after her, and he quickly just puts the clothes on her. No nonsense. She's thirsty for her cousin. Even though cousin relationship is very low, probably less than 1% from my little bit of research, but in anime world, cousin relationships probably are like on the 50% side. And not only that does Sisei want to marry her, of course, we meet the aunt, meet her mom. She's like, she comes in, it's like, "Hey, what are you two doing?" It's like, "Oh, I came to be here." It's like, "Oh, and I miss you so much. I wish you married Sisei instead of that commoner." But we get to the main topic. Saito's like, "Hey, I need a job. I want to buy a gift for Akane." It's like, "All right." It's like, why? And he makes an argument like, "Why don't you ask your grandpa?" I'm like, "I don't want to owe him any more favors." It's like, "All right, I understand it. Need you to learn a language in 3 days." Like, "I'll learn it by tonight. No problem." And it basically gets done. He does keep this a secret. Now, in the manga, there's a little bit more detail. The reason he doesn't want to tell Akane that he's getting her gift is because he's embarrassed, which I think would have been an important factor. It's like, he doesn't want her to. He doesn't want to lord. He doesn't want her to lord over. He wants to be the man of the house, and he doesn't want to be embarrassed. But it's like, "I'm getting you a gift. I have to make this compromise, whatever." He wants to do a spur of the moment. But of course, she gets very jealous. He thinks that Sisei, they're falling in love when it's not. Even though Sisei does love him, she understands why giving gifts, and she's very supportive. We've seen that she wants this romance to work. Whatever makes Saito happy, she will be happy. His dream is her dream. And there's a reason that she is best girl in this series. But she gets jealous, and she talks to her grandma, and she's like, "I don't know what's going on." Like, he's not talking to me. He's coming home late. It's like, well, maybe you're not being honest with your feelings. Maybe you should call him and say, "Hey, what's going on?" She does that. Now, there's a couple differences. They both in the anime and the manga, they do recommend that they don't have an exchange of phone numbers, but how they go about it is a little bit different. And the anime is actually better in this regards. She uses her phone in the manga to search up the last name, Hojo, whereas in the anime, she brings out a phone book. And like, that's a bit old school. It's like, it's probably not what you're going to do, but hey, that works. So she calls him up. The Ruli answers first, and then she hands the phone off to the aunt, Sisei's mom. She basically gives her crap and said, "I can't believe you have to marry a foreigner. I understand, but this is just a marriage on paper. There's nothing more. You're just a political marriage." She just gets really nasty with her. But and then she hangs up, and of course Akane's all upset and everything. She still thinks the cheating is going on. When he gets home, she accuses him like, "Why didn't you answer the phone?" Which, hey, it wasn't his fault. And he gives her in the confusion, he's like, "Wait, I want to talk to you. Don't go away." Gives her the ring, and she's very happy. She's all lovey-dovey. He makes her all kinds of meat. He, of course, actually gets sick from it. And yeah, she's on cloud nine. In fact, she's on cloud nine so much that when she actually brings the ring to school and actually wears it. In the manga, the difference is Saito catches her before they get to school, and then she puts it in her in this cat bag. Where in the anime, they're a little bit funny. She's wearing a da-di-da, and she's about to get to Himori, and Saito notices it and is like, no, wait, what are you doing? Pulls her back, takes her upstairs. I did like that a little bit more moment, even though there's a little bit of more sassy detail. But she's like, all right, I'll put it away. Days goes on. She comes in contact with Shisei, and this happens a little bit earlier in the manga. But but she's like, hey, give me your ring. I'll buy you a new one. I want the one for my cousin. Like, no. And we get to a little bit important, but this ring is very special to her. She doesn't want another ring. She wants this ring. But we go out through the day. She thinks that when she gets home, she thinks she's lost it. She surries all about it. She asks Shisei for help. Well, she figures that she lost it. They go around about it. One of the days, Shisei comes home. Sato's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I can't tell you. You know, I got my pride. You know, it's a woman's thing." It's like, all right. So he's got to do his own mystery. In the manga, he suspects that when he was falling, like, is she looking for a loose change? Is she wanting to serve dog food for dinner? But then he realizes, oh, it's the ring, and he confronts her while it's raining. He's like, "Hey, like, we can go get another ring. Like, it's okay that you lost it." It's like, no, this ring is important. Like, you actually got this ring. You actually care about this relationship. It's got to be this one. It's in this moment. Like, this is like a proper, like, wedding ring to her. Like, she cares about a whole bunch. She's enthusiastic about it. So, using his great memory, Saito figures out where it is. It's in the drain. He pulls out the bag. It hasn't been swept away. It's like, and she's all happy. Like, oh, thank you. It's not dirty. Well, the bag is dirty, but she's all happy. He puts it on her left ring, and this is an anime original. But she's like, when you put a ring on the left finger, it's a symbol of bond, marriage, engagement. And he's like, "What do you mean by this?" Like, and it's like, "I'll put on another ring." No, and she's like, she was more or less teasing him. Like, it's fine. I'll put the ring on my right hand later, like how it was. Like, all right. She was teasing, and it's a little bit that kind of does a little bit annoying because she's been a lot more bitchy than sweetness, so it kind of over. It's like, I felt like that moment she doesn't get to have those kind of moments. Not the moment she needs to be a little bit more sweeter. But we get the end of the episode, and a detail that I very much appreciate, and maybe this is the fan translation of the manga. Sato's sister, not Sato's sister, Akane's sister makes her debut. Mahu comes in. She looks sexy for maybe a B cup or so. But yeah, we see her at the airport. It's like, so sis got out of high school marriage. Like, and I appreciate they're not like beating around the bush. Like, yeah, this is the sister. Because in the manga, it's a bit of a surprise. It's a bit of a surprise for the audience. Like, who is this woman? And takes until the end of, I believe, chapter 24, I believe, or 25, where it's revealed, oh, this is my sister. So yeah, the next episode is going to be sisters barging in, their connection, their interactions, her trying to sweep him off his feet. Yeah, she comes part of the triangle a little bit. It's more faux pas, but yeah, she does enter the picture. I'm going to end, and this is going to be the end of the review. I do want to make one mention, though. I do want to say one thing. In my personal opinion, the grandma is the worst character in this series. And I wanted to touch on this because I was thinking about, with Espiritu, he talked about this anime and people simping for Akane. And I kind of got the thought, like, all right, who's actually the worst character in this series? And and this could be my misremembering anything, but I believe the grandma is the worst. And the reason is, Connie wants to become a doctor. And the reason she wants to become a doctor is because of her sister and also because of her parents. And because her sister was sick and everything. And she felt very helpless. I mean, she just did the best she could. Being a doctor is very normal. And the fact that Connie wants to do this, and the grandma is lording over the fact that she'll pay for medical school to live out her fantasy that she could never emotionally get work up to, which we found out in the episode. She never had the courage to ask Sato's grandfather this until they're in their older age. It's like, wow, she's just a giant cut. I'm sorry. It's like your granddaughter is being very noble, doing something super nice, and like giving to the world, and you gotta force her into her marriage into a guy. Yes, she does like, but she's not 100% about it. It's like doesn't feel like the smart move. It's very dickish. So I just think that she's the worst character. Now, maybe there is a negotiation behind the scene, but that's why I misinterpret. Where can you get, like, maybe Connie has feelings for the guy, and she wants the grandma. Can you make this happen? And just like give me a detail. But the anime and manga don't give that impression. So I'm like, that's why I think she's the dickish. So like, I've already explained, but yeah. Anyway, that's the end of my ranting. Next episode is next Friday, episode 8, the sister ordeal. This one will be on time as opposed to this one. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. See you guys next time.